Now, once you put all the partition roughly into your floor plan, you can start placing doors to assess how the space can be accessed. So I'm going to start placing some doors into this ground level floor plan. So before we do that, we got to look for in our project browser to see what kind of door family we have loaded into the project. So we scroll down on the project browser and look for doors. Now, by looking at the name, I can tell that this is out of the box single panel door created by Autodesk. And it's not a really good one, the way they make this family, because they are not architects, so they don't understand how these families should be created. I can show you if I just right mouse and select edit, we open up the family. If we go to the isometric view, you can see that there's a frame they paste on the outside of the door, and then actually you will see the material when you cut the wall. So that part is not covered, so they didn't put any jam on the door frame here to cover up that material. So if we just click on the wall, you can see that whatever the wall material is being cut is going to show in front of the door panel. So it's not a good idea to use these families. So I usually put in my own door family into the project. So I'm going to close this file. Not going to save it. I'm going to load the door family file that I have, and it should be in your exercise folder. So from here you can look for M door aluminum F2E and F1A and HM for hollow metal, F2A. So these are the 3 door style we're going to be using in this exercise. So we're going to highlight the first one, hold down Shift, highlight the last one. We can just drag these files into the graphic area to load these families. Because these families were created in the early version, so it will be updated to the current version and loaded. You see the door family are loaded in here. Now I can start placing a door. I'm just going to start using the F1A, which is a basic solid panel hollow metal door. Nothing fancy about it, but it works. So we're just going to use a 915 door. It's basically a 3-foot door. So we're just going to place one here, and then you can look at the left, right flip arrow. You click on this to change the swing. Actually, we don't want that door there. I'm just going to place one here. This is the kitchen, and this is the cafeteria. So I'm going to click modify to get out this door placing command. I can pick on this door, and I can click pick new host. So I can place a door here. So the cafeteria is here, the kitchen is here, and the storage for the kitchen is in here. So it should be accessed in this way. And I'm just going to click on one of these doors, and then right mouse, then select create similar. Then I can start placing doors here. Make the door coming in from here. Door coming in from here. Flip it around. The door coming in from here, flip the swing, I'll put a door over here, change the swing, and put one over here. And we can put one over here as well for the stairwell. And then down here, we're going to do the same thing. We put one over here again in this room. And then into this room as well. You can flip this swing. Just keep placing doors. And this is going to be another door in here. I'm going to flip the swing, and this one is for the stairwell. This one is going to be over here. We're just going to flip the swing. We're going to leave this here for now. These are the classrooms, so we probably need 2 doors for each classroom. So we're going to flip this here and put one over here. It's a small classroom, so we're probably only going to need 1 door and one over here. Flip the swing and then put one over here. We probably just need one door here for a smaller size classroom, and we're going to put a door here for the stairwell. Now we probably need another wall here because that's going to be one of the equipment room for firefighter access. So we're going to click on this wall, right mouse, create similar. We're just going to draw a line down here. And then because of the size of the equipment, we may need a double door. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to look for my double door. This metric door, hollow metal F2A. So these are the double doors. So we want 2 pieces of 915, 2 leaf of 915, 3-foot leaf, and just drag this in here. And so that's done. Now we're going to place door into the cafeteria, which is in here. And right now we only have solid partition in here, but we want to use current system in this segment of the wall so we can see what's going on inside the cafeteria. So first we're going to pick on modify, and we're going to pick on this wall, and we're going to split the wall segment at this point here, at this junction. And then we're going to pick on this segment of the wall and then change the type. And we're going to scroll all the way down from the type selector to look for storefront. Now the storefront, if we look at, we do a check, distance check here using the measure tool, you can see that roughly the mullion spacing is approximately 1.3 meter, which is a bit large for a single door panel. And we want to have roughly about 3-foot panel, so 915, because the mullion is about 50 millimeters, so 915 plus 50 will be 965. So we want the mullion spacing to be 965. So we're going to modify this. We're going to click on modify, highlight the current system, and then from the type selector, we're going to select edit type. And we're going to say duplicate storefront, and we want spacing to be 965 millimeter on center. Okay, so that's what we're going to change the spacing to. Vertical grid spacing, rather than 1524, we're going to change it to 965. We'll select OK. You can see that the space in the mullion is changed. Now we want to add a door into this current system. Now adding door in current system is not the same as placing door in a gypsum partition or concrete partition. You need to replace the whole current panels with a different family, so you can change it into a door. So the process is quite different. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to highlight the current system, and I'm going to go to isometric view, clicking on the default 3D view icon, and then I'm going to right mouse select previous, so that current system is selected again, and I'm going to go to temporary high isolate. I'm just going to click on this, expand it, and then select isolate element. So now all I'm seeing in here is just the current system. So I'm going to look at the front view of this current system, and I probably want to make these 2 panels into door. Now before I do that, I want to remove some of the mullion. So if I put my mouse over the mullion, you can see that the tooltip tells me that this is a 50 millimeter by 150 millimeter current mullion. Now sometime if your in your selection bar, select pin element is unable, if that's the case, then you will not be able to select the mullion because mullion by default is pinned down. So click on this, unpin this, or uncheck this item before you can select the mullions and the grid lines. So I'm going to pick this mullion, I'm going to click on it. You can see that it is pinned down. I'm going to unpin it, and I'm going to go delete the mullion. Okay. And I'm also going to delete the mullions at the bottom here. Click on this, unpin it, and then delete it. Same thing for here. Pick on it, unpin it, and then delete it. Now, because I have double doors here, so I need to also delete these segment of the curtain grid. So I highlight the curtain grid, click on it, unpin it, and then click on Add Remove Segment. I'm just going to pick on this lower segment here, and then pick outside. Now that is one panel, one curtain panel rather than two, because I took out the grid line. Now we're going to replace this curtain panel with a double glass door family. So we're going to load the family first. We're going to click on Load Family, and then we go to the door folder, and you can see that M door curtain wall double storefront. I'm going to select this one and then select Open. Now I'm going to put my mouse over the edge of the curtain panel, and I'm going to use Tab key until I see the curtain panel highlighted. Then I click. Then I select the curtain panel, and I'm going to unpin this. And then from the type selector in the property panel, I'm going to drop down. I will see M door curtain wall double storefront. I'm going to pick that type below it, and then you can see that this curtain panel become a double door. So I'm just going to go back to my plan view. You can see that this is the door symbol in here. So I'm going to click to flip it back to go inside. So that's the process of creating door inside a curtain panel system. Now I'm just going to zoom in here, pick on this curtain system, and just move it so that the mullion is flush with the face of the wall here. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing for this segment of the wall here, because this is going to be the entrance vestibule for the facility. So I'm going to click on this wall. I'm just going to split the segment at this point here. So click on the wall and split wall. And then I'm going to change this wall type into the same type that we use for the cafeteria. So we can click on this, scroll all the way down, storefront 965 on center. Now you should know that when you see this, okay, let's try this again. Now I'm going to click on this. You can see that this is the double arrow should always be at the outside face. So I'm going to click on this to flip it back outside. And because of cleanup problem here, that's why it was giving me some error. I'm just going to click on this and then use the arrow key to nudge it up toward the outside face. Now I'm going to click on this current system and just drag it up. Let's take a cleanup in here. So I might need to do some adjustment here as well. So I'm going to drag this back up to be flush with the face of this wall. And now I need to create two set of double doors in this bay here. So I'm just going to highlight this and make sure the height is to level 2 minus 250 for the height. And then I'm going to go to my isometric view. I'm going to end this reset temporary height isolate, and I'm going to right mouse, select previous, and then click on eyeglasses, isolate element. Now I'm going to switch this over to look at this current system in this front view on the right side. So I probably want to have these two panels and then these two panels to be the door. So I'm going to click on the mullion here, unpin it, and then delete it. Pick on the grid line, add remove segment, click on this grid line, unpin it first, and highlight it again, add remove segment. I'm going to remove this segment by clicking here, and then pick a point outside, and you can see that the grid line is deleted. And I'm going to pick on this mullion, unpin it, and then delete it again. And this one as well. Pick on this, unpin, and delete. Now I'm going to pick on this, put my mouse over this mullion here, and then use the tab key until I see the panel is highlighted. Then unpin it, and then click on the type selector, and then select the M double curtain wall, double storefront type selector, and then that's changed into a double door. So let's take a look at what it looks like in plan view. So I probably just want to create another one over here, and that should be fine. So I'm just going to pick this one. So I'm looking this way, so it's on the left side. So I go back to the 3D view and do the same thing. Click on this, unpin, and then delete. And highlight the current system or current the current grid, add remove segment, pick this segment, and pick a point outside, and pick on this mullion, and then delete it. Pick on this other mullion, unpin, and then delete this mullion. Again, go put my mouse over the mullion adjacent to the current panel. Use the tab key until you see the panel is highlighted, then unpin it, and then from the type selector, select this type. Now let's take a look in the plan view. So this is what we wanted. Okay, so we got this. And now all we need to do is just copy this whole thing, and we're gonna move it up by about, let's say, 3 meters. So that we have our vestibule.